Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Ondas. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now in the case of this chart, I am looking for a larger structure in 5 waves to develop, and I find that more likely to happen than not. I mean, not necessarily the 5-wave move in this area directly, but I am favoring the uptrend because if we track from even the all-time high, the resistance area, we broke even above the 78.6% retracement. So it is a little bit or even considerably more likely that we are developing an uptrend on this chart overall. Now, within this structure that has developed, I have a few ways I could interpret it. I am looking again for a 5-wave structure, and we will know fairly shortly, if not in terms of shortly from this point, but we will know as soon as we break a wave 4 support zone if we fail to build such a larger 5-wave move to the upside. But this is what we are always looking for. We are always looking for the 5-wave move where we can build a larger wave 1 and then have a correction in wave 2 where we can get an entry to be part of the third wave to the upside, which is generally the most impulsive and provides the best risk-reward ratios as well. Now, in this structure, as I was saying, it is a bit difficult to track the exact count we are within because we are most likely within a diagonal pattern. And I could count this in even this pattern in 2 ways, because I could consider that this is the 1, 2, and then this is the third wave to the upside, where this could be an ABC pattern developing, or the 1, 2 could be here 1, 2, and then this would develop as a third wave to the upside. Now, since I am tracking an ABC structure within these waves, if we have a wave 1 top here and a wave 2 bottom here, I would expect this movement to either end shortly or this to be an A wave to the upside. And if we actually end up creating here a 5-wave move to the upside in this area, I would be quite inclined to believe that it is a pretty high possibility that instead we topped here in a wave 1 and we bottomed here in a wave 2, and that this is developing as an ABC structure, because within the C wave to the upside, or within a wave C in general, we are expecting a 5-wave structure, whereas in such a wave 3 within a diagonal pattern, we are expecting a 3-wave structure. Now, let's look at some extensions, some expectations for such a wave 3. And for this interpretation that we have here on the chart, we are expecting the 138.2% extension for the ADL target for the wave 3, at the $15.6 level. And internally, if we actually consider this other interpretation, we most likely have already reached the target. We are already at the 161.8% extension. So we would be able to consider this movement quite close to completion, but I would also pretty much need to see a 5-wave structure here internally, in a diagonal structure or not. Now, I won't get too much into the exact different possibilities. I will track mostly the idea that this is the 1 and this is the 2, and now that we are looking here for the third wave to the upside, where internally from this wave to bottom, I see in a couple of places a clear 3-wave structure, and I cannot track this really as an impulse to the upside. So I can look at this as an ABC pattern, all good. Also here an ABC, a tiny one. And then to the upside in this area, we could count this move as a 5-wave structure. But to be honest, I would prefer to really look at this area as just a 1, a 2, and then here a third wave to the upside that would be forming, and we will be tracking here a wave 4 correction, because that would be really the first level that we would need to invalidate to get more information on a different scenario that we could be in. Or if it succeeds, then we know that this is probably a C wave to the upside. And within this interpretation, I am tracking also an A, B, C structure within this third wave to the upside, where also based on the RSI, the wave C actually seems to be towards the end of its lifespan, not necessarily based on the correction proportions, but based on the count and the RSI, we have quite significant divergences for a very long time, so that rather suggests exhaustion appearing here in this overall uptrend. And indeed, within these last few movements to the upside, we do see that it is getting harder and harder to push. Now, I won't call a top anytime soon. I would need to wait for a support area to actually break before we can have a more clear assessment of that. But now let's get into this shorter time frame and have a few counts on the chart. So internally, I would be looking here at a wave 1, a wave 2, and then it would be 1, 2, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and possibly a fifth wave here. And then for this movement, I would consider this as the wave 3. Then we have here a 1, 2, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and then I could consider this the fifth wave to the upside, where we might be developing it in an ending diagonal. Now, this overall movement in the wave C seems to be an impulse, but the internal structure within the fifth wave to the upside seems to be developing as a diagonal structure. Now, I also see some possible other interpretations where this could be a series of double 1, 2, 1, 2 setups, and then I could expect 2 5 waves to the upside in this area as well. I won't look too much into that. Instead, I will look at this internal structure within the fifth wave, and what I would really expect of this area is to form a more clear divergence and a more clear count, where I can say, okay, this does look like a 1, 2, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and then a fifth wave to have the full count within the wave 5. So internally in this area, I may add here a 1, 2, a third wave, a fourth wave, and then a fifth wave. And let's make these a smaller degree because it is getting a bit hard to read. And internally here, let's use the micro. So within this third wave, I am also looking for an A, B, C structure where, depending on how this develops, it could actually have completed. I do have enough waves within this C wave to the upside to consider it complete. And what I would be looking out for next would be a wave 4 correction. Now, if we happen to push higher, depending on the structure, we may need to adjust the support zone or even the count, because this is in a very fragile time frame. But assuming that we topped here in the wave 3, I would be looking for a correction in the wave 4 in the area between the $9 all the way down to the $7.2 level at the 61.8% retracement. And as long as we manage to hold that, I would still track further continuation to the upside in a wave 5, also in an ABC structure. So yeah, that is about it for the shorter time frame. Next, what I would be looking out for, well, it would really have to be the larger support zone in this area, where maybe I could see another 4, 5 occurring for this internal 1, 2, 1, or this one. It is a bit hard to say in this area. It is a bit choppy, but then we could see a deeper retracement where the support zone could start only at the $6.5 level. Now, personally, I prefer the initial count where I am looking here for a fourth wave and still continuation higher to the upside. And if that fails, I would actually be much rather prepared for the larger support zone for this wave 4, where I would consider this third wave probably complete if we fail to hold here the 61.8% retracement in the very small time frame. So that support zone, that larger support zone, extends all the way down to the $1.9 level, and if we actually also break that, we will have a last chance for this to turn into an A-B movement. But yeah, if that fails, if even this A-B structure within a larger third wave to the upside fails, I would be extremely cautious of any potential upside that could really appear on this chart. and yeah, instead I would most likely be looking again for a more bearish interpretation, a more bearish scenario. But for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.